Don't talk to the boss like that.
Yeah. Well, the boss needs to get his act together.
That's not nice. We're live, and that's how you talk to the boss.
Oh,
It's time for Red Salad Review with your hosts, Wayne New, Greg Narlow, and Lou Max.
That's right. Roll that beautiful bean footage. Catman is here. Hello, Catman. And we are here a little later than usual, but a lot of stuff's been going on today. My shitter was full, so that had to get taken care of. And a lot of other stuff going on. And one of our co-hosts here is missing in action because he's had an issue yesterday. So we wish him well. I don't want to get into full detail because I know he doesn't like to disclose a lot of things that happen with him, but he's got an issue going on, and hopefully he recovers and everything is you know, good.
Copacetic.
Yeah. So we hope you wish you well, Greg.
Yes. But as far as your pooper is concerned, hi, cousin Eddie. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. I went on YouTube here as our show was going on, and one of the first little things I see is Paul Stanley Part One. Billy Corgan interviewed him, so I want to watch that. It was uploaded 10 hours ago. Has anybody listened to the Billy Corgan podcast, by the way?
no.
I've seen a couple of snippets here and there. He's a pretty good interviewer. I mean, he's definitely engaged with his guest.
Yeah.
He's sort of like the rock and roll Joe Rogan, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. I listened to the Gene Simmons. I listened to the Al Jorgensen one the other day. There was another one I listened to. I can't remember, but they've been pretty good. So I definitely want to check out the Paul Stanley one.
I couldn't listen to Al Jorgensen talk. I mean, I like Ministry's music, but he's such a burnt out moron.
I don't know.
Sorry.
He's always been that way, so it doesn't phase me. But I think he's interesting. I didn't realize how much stuff he's actually done. I mean, I've have albums that I see like produced by Al Jorgensen. I'm like, is it the same Al Jorgensen? Apparently, it is because he's done so many things besides Ministry that I don't even
Yeah.
like realize. So
Well, that was, I guess, in spite of his original record label with Arista, you
yeah.
know, so he released it under different names. Um, and of course, I think one of the best things that he did was he produced the track Horror of Yig on Guar's debut album for Metal Blade,
Yeah.
Scumdogs of the Universe. So, it's probably, I mean, the entire production on that album is great, but that track itself is just like, it's like next level Guar. So
Mhm. Definitely good stuff. Which is why in our chat I brought up Ministry because I listened to that interview. So
I see.
maybe one day I'll get Stan to listen to Ministry.
Soundtrack of your mental state.
It's not very good right now.
Hey, not for nothing. When I first heard this song at WO back in '92, I loved it. I really dug it.
Oh my
So
God, that shit blew me away. And back then, I used to have there was this yellow Walkman. It was pretty famous back then. It had two headphone jacks, so me and my friend would both put our headphones in to the thing, and we would listen to all albums. And that's one of the Ministry album came out, Psalm 69, and we just listened to that on the way to school almost every single day. It was just we loved it.
was that the Sony Walkman?
Yeah, Sony. Yeah.
I
I
think
think
they
I had
showed.
that one. The yellow one?
Yeah, that one was a
Yeah.
pretty big one because it was big. It looked like a
Mhm.
turtle type shell thing, and then it locked, and it had rubber buttons and stuff.
My brother had that one, and that was highlighted on the Sony Walkman commercial with Joe Satriani's "Summer Song" in the commercial. So yeah, that was a great commercial.
Yeah, it was a good Walkman until somebody stole it from me with my Guns N' Roses tape inside of it.
Which Guns N' Roses tape was it?
Might have been one of the Use Your Illusions, maybe. I don't
You're
remember.
not missing anything, anyways. Moving
I
along.
like
I'm just kidding.
those.
I like two more than one.
I like them both the same. They could have been condensed, but the
They
show's not
should have been
about Guns N'
condensed.
Roses. Yeah, Catman. I still laughed that Steve-O got kicked out of Kiss concert for breathing fire, bigger fireballs than Gene. Interesting. I didn't know that. I didn't listen to that Steve-O interview. Anything else going on with you guys?
Well, I'm seeing Dimitri Martin this weekend.
Oh, he's
Oh,
funny. He's very
yeah,
I
he's
have
deadpan, but
no
very
idea who that
funny.
he's
is.
pretty hilarious, and so I'm looking forward to that. As far as shows, I've been considering going to see Bruce Dickinson in September. He's
Okay.
playing in Brooklyn. I think he's playing in Brooklyn. I'm not sure.
At the Paramount,
Yeah,
that's a great venue. I
yeah.
was there back in March. I took my wife to go see Foster the People and Good Neighbors for her birthday.
Uh-huh.
I'm a big fan of the Paramount out here in Huntington.
Yeah.
Even I have to admit, the one in Brooklyn blows it away. Sound wise, lighting wise, visual wise, stage wise, great venue.
You guys thinking of going or what?
No.
Uh,
No.
not at this juncture. I'm not thinking of going to any shows.
Yeah,
Not until I get undoged.
Gotcha. All right.
yeah, I got bills to pay. Although, even though I do have bills to pay, I've been buying a lot of shit lately because a lot of stuff's been on sale.
Oh,
Yeah.
hold on a second. Here's my impersonation of someone. Who am I?
I have no
Give up?
idea. Yeah.
Gavin Newsom. Anyways, sorry, Wayne, continue.
Who's that?
Some douche nozzle from California. Anyways, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
California. What's going on in California? I have no idea.
I don't know. Peaceful protest, I think they call it.
Okay. Well, we'll
Stick
see
to the
about
music, guys.
that. We'll see
Okay,
about
sorry.
that. But I've been buying a lot of stuff on Amazon, and Nuclear Blast had like a huge sale a couple weeks ago. So I just been like buying too much stuff and things I probably shouldn't have, but it's been that cheap. So I've
Oh,
been
nice.
buying. But I got this a couple weeks ago, Brutal Planet for
Little
Alice
Planet,
Cooper.
yeah.
It's probably one of his last like really, really good albums that I really, really like. Maybe.
Mhm.
I mean, there's some
And
other
that's
ones
what
that are good, but this one's heavy.
The new
and that's
metal
what
Alice Cooper.
and that's with Eric Singer on drums, I think,
Eric,
right?
I didn't realize this, but I'm looking through the liner notes. Alice Cooper did all the guitars and bass, or no, the guitars, and I think Eric Singer did the bass and drums. And I did not know that.
I didn't know Eric Singer could play bass. That's cool.
Let me see. Alice Cooper guitars. Uh, I don't know what China Phil Roxy. I don't know what that means. Oh no, wait a second. I'm wrong. Oh, it's the way they have it written here. That's why I got confused. All right, never mind. Alice Cooper did not play guitar.
I was gonna say.
Never mind. It was the way they written it on it. It was stupid. Um, I just got this in the mail today. Plasmatics metal. What the fuck does that say? Metal Priest.
Metal Priestess.
So that
I
was 12,
love
$12 on Amazon.
I love
Why?
Wendigo.
And I got the one of the other albums a couple months ago. This I went to a flea market, right?
Hmm.
Oh,
And I go to the flea market every once in a while. I see this in there. I've been looking for this on record for a long time. I rarely ever find it. And if I
Don't
do,
you
it's
have it
very
with the
expensive.
box set?
I have like 5,000 different versions of this, but
Oh.
I wanted this one.
Is that the original pressing?
Well, the cover is, unfortunately, I go to take out the record and it's Pyromania.
whoa.
Someone done goofed.
Yeah, me,
Yeah.
because I did look at it when I was at the flea market and I just saw Def Leppard, not really thinking, oh, why would some other album be in there?
Well, congratulations. You got a perfect album in a non-perfect album sleeve.
I know.
So you're one of a kind, Wayne. Like RVD before you.
But I really wanted the Hysterics. I already have Pyromania. I have all the other ones.
You can't have enough
Um,
Pyromania.
No, you can't. Jag Panzer, Age of Mastery. I have this on CD, but the record was really cheap, so I grabbed it. And it's remastered too. This is a really good album, Brainstorm. What the hell is it called? The Last Soul Temptation. I haven't listened to this in a while, but it's very, very good.
I like the cover.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Yes.
Yeah. Why
Is that AI?
No, this is before AI.
I don't know. One's
wasn't even around.
misshapen.
This is from 1998.
Everything
right?
just
AI
looks
didn't
like
exist.
AI now. You can't trust anything.
You can't trust nothing.
Yeah.
Unless you're in Severed Angel. Then you can trust everything.
That's all. Severed Angels, all AI. Believer Dimensions. If you haven't heard this band, like a Christian death metal type band, and really, really good. This is one of the first bands I think to like add
Christian death metal.
Yeah,
It's a genre. Have you heard of Mortification?
I mean, it's kind of like an oxymoron, isn't
I
it?
know. I don't know what
Well,
else to call.
you might as well call Christian black metal an oxymoron, but it exists.
Maybe
that's
Christian
weird.
thrash metal, but I don't know. He's got like a death metal type vocals. But
Mm.
anyway, this is like one of the first bands to add like operatic type things and orchestra type things in their music, and really good. Especially the last track. It's called the Trilogy of Knowledge. It's like 15 minutes or something like that, and it's really cool. My favorite track. Fear Factory, Aggression Continuum. I forgot this
I
album
haven't
existed.
heard that one.
This was the last one with Burton on it.
Mm.
Totally forgot about it.
I think most people forgot, didn't even know it came out.
Probably. But some of the songs I was listening to, it actually was pretty good. Me and Stan talked about this band not too long ago, Paul Bear. This is their last one. I listened to this the other day. I don't know if this is my favorite one or not because they sound different on this one, a lot different. I don't know if you heard this one yet.
Not yet. No.
Vocals are different. Usually, they're like on the older albums, there's like a lot of reverb and things going on. This one's kind of more
Yeah.
like a Foo Fighters sounding out. It's weird. It's very strange.
Oh, I should like it then.
You might like it. And
Yeah.
I'm not saying that it's bad. It's just different. They changed the sound a little bit.
I mean, you know, how much can you change like the doom style? I mean, it's just
I don't know. How much can you really do? But
yeah.
I don't know. It's just strange. Creator Violent Revolution. It's a really good album. One of my favorite.
Everything just sounds the same from Creator.
Someone's judgmental.
Sabaton.
I'm sorry, it just does. It's like everything's the same tempo.
Talk about the same. This band, every song is the same on this band. You don't know what songs.
Yeah, Sabaton is definitely the same thing.
But
Dude,
cool.
I can't tell what song I'm listening to. Like everything just sounds like Primo Victoria or something.
I don't know. That one I recognize. That's a good one.
That's a good album.
Glory
to the Brave.
Yeah. You know what? Everybody said this band. Check this band out when they came out. This album came out, and they're like, "Oh, if you love Halloween, you're gonna love this band." I got this. I'm like, I don't like this band as much as Halloween. There's no way. I'll never like another band as much as I like Halloween. I don't think they
three
sound
Halloween
like
albums are. I mean, the first three Hammerfall albums are great.
They're great,
Yeah.
but they're not. They're no Halloween. And another creator, live at Bloodstock 2001. Again, all cheap. I could not leave them there.
And you found that at a flea market, you said?
No, that was Nuclear Blast. The only one I got at the flea market was the Def Leppard.
Can't believe you didn't look to see if it was Hysteria.
I looked. It said Def Leppard, and I didn't really see the because it was sunny out, so I didn't really see the.
How much more shit do you have? What the fuck?
I bought all the municipal. I'm not even gonna say which albums they
like
are.
15 minutes in, it's just
albums
showing off.
I bought them all.
Municipal Waste.
Oh, Ministry is another Ministry album. Lucifer. You ever check out this band?
Yes, they have one song that is a direct lift of Black Sabbath's Snowblind. Track's called Anubis, but I like it.
Oh yeah. I didn't know the track very well, but they're very like Black Sabbath influenced. Exodus. This is a live album. I don't know from when. 1989. Another Sabaton album. This is what the frig is this?
Did you almost call them Sabaton?
Yeah, I did. Carlos Rex, and this is like a
collection of more songs that sound the same.
Exactly. Threshold. You ever hear Threshold? This is a really good band. Dividing Lines. Carcass, the last Carcass album.
Cool.
Battle Beast, Circus of Doom. You ever hear this, guys? It's pretty good.
No.
It's a good female singer. Very strong voice. Rob Zombie. I'm not even going to pronounce that album. And two more Municipal Waste albums.
And no Beast in Black. Come on, man.
No, I have that. They haven't put a new album out yet.
Oh. Okay.
And some cassettes that I got in the flea market. I've been buying cassettes. They were cheap. So Living Color, Aerosmith, and Metallica Garage Inc. I never see that on cassette.
Yeah, which cassette is that? Is that all the newer covers?
That's the Garage Inc. It's got all the new covers, and actually, what else is on here?
That's what I'm saying. I don't think they're gonna fit both CDs on one cassette.
Is cassette 2. I'll find cassette 1 eventually.
Okay, cool.
And one day that garage or the basement, wherever he is, it's gonna be a museum.
It will be. And
the
other cool
museum.
Thing, my last thing I went to on Sunday, a yard sale.
Don't touch anything.
Yeah. I just happened to go there, and this guy's got, I see like a crate and it had CDs in it. And I get closer and there's like a couple crates and a couple things full of CDs. And I'm going through them. I'm like, wow, there's some really cool stuff in here.
Mhm.
And I'm trying to pick things out. He's like, everything's like 50 cents each. I'm like, all right, but I don't want to sit here and go through all this. What will you take for the whole thing? First, the guy tells me like $200, and I'm like, I'm not paying $200 for this because I don't know what the hell's in there. So, so
Oh,
then
you're saying you wouldn't want a chance to own Milli Vanilli's first album? Go, you know it's true.
there was no Milli Vanilli in there.
Vanilla Ice is to the extreme.
No Vanilla
Ultra close.
Ice. No
MC
Vanilla Ice.
Hammers, please.
No
Hammer
MC
don't hurt
Hammer.
him.
No rap. There's no rap.
That's a shock. This
It
is
was
Long Island.
all,
We're talking
I
about all
know,
the white boys like rap here.
but it was all rock and alternative, and there was some new stuff in there too that the guy never even opened. But anyway, I got him down to $80. So I bought everything that he had. I get home, I start going through it, and I open some cases, and some of the CDs are missing. I'm like, motherfucker.
Oh
I bought a
no.
whole thing of empty cases. Luckily, no, that's not what happened. There's a lot of them without CDs in them, but then there was also CDs that had other CDs in. So I got I found the ones that were empty, but I still do have a lot of empty ones, but most of it had the actual CDs in it. But there's a
Buyer
really,
beware, Wayne.
I know. And I looked, I tried looking, and everyone I was opening they were all in there. So I just took it for granted. And there was there was one of those, those cases that people would throw the CDs in.
Hmm.
There was one sitting
The
there.
slip disc stuff
Yeah,
you
yeah, yeah.
leave in your car. I get it.
Right. And there was one sitting there, and I flipped through it, and it looked like it was all like CDRs or whatever. But I bet the ones that I'm missing were probably in there in the sleeves that I didn't look through. Stupid me. So, but anyway, there was a lot of stuff in there. A lot of stuff is probably going to go up on eBay, but there's a lot of stuff that I'm keeping. I'm not going to go through that. There's no time. I just wasted about 20 minutes going through that.
Hmm.
But it was fun. It was a really cool Sunday. I had a lot of fun, found a lot of cool stuff, and here I am today.
And
Fantastic.
we're better for it.
Yeah, we're better for it. Yeah, sure we are.
I didn't get anything new recently only because, I'm not in a position to buy anything new. I'm trying to be responsible.
I
But
don't
I
like
will
to
say
be
that
responsible.
I have no choice at this point, but I do
I'm
have
trying, but it's not easy.
I do have a bit of good news though.
Okay.
So I remember I mentioned on the show that my beloved brother Anthony, who's pretty much the guy that raised me and shaped me into the music fan that I ended up becoming, and so much so he bought me my first electric guitar. Well, I'm proud to say that I was able to get him approved for Social Security disability benefits with his
Oh.
dementia. So it actually went through.
Very good. Congratulations.
Very nice.
Thank you.
Needed to
So
happen.
I'm just glad it did because apparently, like sometimes on the first take, it
Mhm.
doesn't happen.
Right.
Like people actually have to appeal.
Right.
And some have even said that the process takes up to like a year and a half. In my case, I was fortunate. Once the application was up until it got approved, it was a total of 4 months, not even. So, whatever benevolent creator out there blessed me with it, thank you. So,
Someone's looking down at you and noticing all the shit that you're going through right now, and
Hmm.
helped you out a little bit.
well, I'm not complaining. I'm still breathing, and every day above ground is a good day, to quote Pitbull. I'm just a squirrel looking for a nut. That is not a good line, Pitbull.
We don't do that here, but I'm glad everything is working out, and hopefully some other things that you got going will work out for you too.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Either way, it's always focused, never give up, never quit, never surrender, move forward.
That's right. Got to do it.
Yeah.
Speaking about moving forward, today's episode is about Soundgarden. We were going to do Weezer, but Stan said Soundgarden, so we're doing Soundgarden instead. And we're doing top 10 songs.
And we're gonna do them quickly.
And we're going to do them quickly.
No, we won't.
Well, I'm gonna do it quickly. I'm gonna start. I'm gonna go with number 10.
Well, before you get to that,
Wait,
what got you
wait.
into Soundgarden?
What?
I mean, we kind of talked about this on the last episode.
Oh, what got me
on
into
the,
Soundgarden? Dude, just watching MTV as a kid. I mean, seeing the video for Black Hole Sun, it was so fucking trippy. It was like an acid trip.
Mm.
You know, I was like, what the fuck is this? It freaked me out. But I love the song, and then I got to just hear more of the band later on, and I was like, wow, this sounds really good. Kind of sounds like Sabbath
Mm.
mixed with Zeppelin, mixed with I don't know whatever they were doing, grunge. It's like a grungy Sabbath. I don't know, but sludgy Sabbath.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. But it was obviously, Chris Cornell's voice is, one of the highlights of Soundgarden and
And music in general,
and
really.
music in general. Yeah, that's true. I mean, the guy, he was very gifted and but yeah, I mean, I I tend to I gotta admit, like, I don't have anything from the new album. I mean, the last album
I
on the list. I do
Yeah,
like the album, but there's just so many fucking songs that I like that I the honorable mentions, dude, is as big as the fucking main list. You know what I mean? Like it's just
yeah.
it's ridiculous. Like this was tough. Every fucking list we do is tough
Hmm.
for me. Like
Well,
because
especially when you're doing a band like this and they got so many albums. Well, actually, they don't have a lot of albums, but they have a lot of really good songs. And
yeah,
like, it's just really tough to pick. I had like about 14, and I only stopped because I knew I was going over the 10.
yeah,
And I had to like erase a couple songs, and I'm like, I don't know what to take out because I like this song, like that song. And I wanted to add, like, at least try to add a song from each album. And I had
yeah,
to take all the ones off of the last album because even though I do like it, I don't like that as much as I like the older stuff. So I
I
don't
yeah.
was
have
in the
any
same
songs.
situation too.
Yeah.
Their use of weird tunings,
Right.
created an interesting kind of sound. It's and like also like they use like different time signatures and stuff. So they're definitely like probably the more unique band
Hmm.
out of the big four of grunge, I
Probably
guess.
the most progressive, I would
Probably
say.
the most progressive, yeah.
Yeah, and
But
they weren't afraid to change their sound a little bit, and not every album was the same either. They always did something different.
yeah. So are we gonna start the list or what do you
Go
think?
ahead, start your list. What do you?
Oh,
What do you?
I thought we were going around saying how we first got
We
into
could do the
Soundgarden.
first.
Oh, all right.
Do your first five, and then we'll go to Lou.
Okay.
We're gonna just do this different.
Okay.
See how this works.
All right. So I'm gonna do number 10. I mean, I had to pick something from the earlier albums,
Hmm.
so I'm gonna go with Power Trip.
Okay.
If there's any song that reminds me of Sabbath, it's this one. This is like a total, you know, Sabbath worship kind of tune. Slow and very slow, heavy. It's got that. It's like in what do you call it? Like a 6/8 time signature and everything. So it's
I don't even
just
know what that is.
okay. Well, you're a drummer. You wouldn't know.
No, I don't know.
But anyway, yeah, it's definitely one of those like it's like a prelude to their like bad motor finger kind of sound. It's just a little tease into
Hmm.
what they would eventually start doing. Um, then after that, one of the more underrated songs, Mind Riot.
Good one. Very
I
good
really
one.
like that one. Um,
I'm
it's
putting
not
I'm
as
putting these on the list, by the way. I'm just putting them on
okay.
the list.
You know, I don't think that song got enough recognition, but it's not as like memorable as like the other stuff, like
Yeah,
as the radio hits.
it's a deep track.
Yeah,
There
it's a
is
deep track.
picking any song off of that album isn't a wrong answer
That is true. That is true.
because you can pick anything.
Number 8, I'm gonna go with Spoon Man.
Spoon Man. I hated that song when it came out. I thought it was so stupid and so ridiculous with this guy walking around with the spoons.
It's a catchy tune. It's got this nice like little drum break in the middle.
Yeah,
Wayne, what do you think about Matt Cameron as a drummer?
he's really good. He's definitely one of my top favorites.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
he's also very underrated in my
he's
opinion.
very underrated. I
Very.
don't like him in Pearl Jam though. He's not the right drummer for Pearl Jam.
No? What, just too vanilla?
No, he's too good for Pearl Jam.
He's too good for Pearl Jam.
Yeah.
You think he's more like restrained in Pearl Jam?
Mm-hmm.
Is that
He's
what
too
it is?
restrained. Yeah, definitely.
Okay. So
I
number
can hear him
seven.
like in some Pearl Jam things. I can hear like he kind of wants to go off and do something, but then it gets pushed back. It's just weird, you know. He
Yeah,
works. They make it work, but he can do a lot more than what they let him do in Pearl Jam.
yeah, I guess so. So number seven, Jesus Christ Pose.
Ah, yes.
I mean, intense vocals, intense riffing. Everything about the song is intense. It's just, nothing but sound and fury here. One of their most popular tunes too. And number six,
That song, by the
yeah,
way, I always wanted to learn how to play drums to that song
it
because
sounds it sounds kind of tough, doesn't it?
it's very tough, and I finally did get the hang of it, but only because I watched him play it. It was on like some MTV thing, and
Uh-huh.
I watched how he did all the things and how because he plays the same beat throughout the whole song, but it like switches in like in the middle. And it's very weird timing on it, and just how he can remember to play that over and over and over again like that. It's crazy. It's
You know what? I'm actually gonna think that I actually think that maybe Matt Cameron's probably like the most talented member in that band. I
and
mean,
sound.
like,
Yeah,
like without him, I don't think Soundgarden would sound the same. I
no,
mean, obviously you got Cornell's voice, yeah, but
yeah,
but it was something about the way he plays the drums. It just like makes a difference.
yeah,
Like
definitely.
like I don't believe that they would sound as good with a different kind of drummer.
No, no,
But anyway, number six, 4th of July.
no, good song.
So that's a very slow, drony, almost apocalyptic. It doesn't sound like as heavy and as doomy as it sounds.
Mm. What do you mean by
There's
that?
some
Like,
like Chris, like he sings in a very like sort of calm, chill sort of vocal tone, but it just sounds so apocalyptic.
yeah, yeah,
It doesn't have to be like chaotic or anything like that to sound scary or anything like that. It just there's something about like this song that it has this very like it brings up these like surreal images. I mean, Cornell said that it was about like an acid trip he was on. So I guess it makes sense.
I guess.
But
And
yeah,
I think me and Lou should cover that song, and Stan should sing that song.
I think Alex is better suited for that one.
No,
No?
that's all you.
And I'm not against the idea of covering a Soundgarden song, but if you're gonna do Soundgarden song, you gotta do justice. So
Okay. All right. Yeah,
I think
maybe.
you can pull it off.
Can you write? We have trouble like writing our own tunes. I'm
yes, you do.
gonna start covering. Anyway, so those are my five.
First five. Okay. All
And
right.
the
Good.
first
Good
five.
picks. Good picks. All right, Lou. What got you into Soundgarden?
My brother Mikey, my late brother, had Bad Motorfinger double disc. So disc
Ah,
one was the album, disc two was a 5 song EP, and Black Sabbath being my favorite time, be yes,
I got
being
it
my
right
favorite
here.
band of all time. I saw that they covered Into the Void on disc two. Way to go, Wayne! You
This
cracked the
isn't. This
CD.
isn't even the one. This is the regular version, but it is back here.
Okay. Um, so the first track on disc two was their cover of Into the Void from Black Sabbath, but they changed the lyrics to reflect a speech that self um, and of an Indian. He was the one that Seattle was named after. Of a speech that he wrote. So when I heard the music, I was blown away by how heavy and menacing it sounded, and I thought they did Sabbath's music justice. And then all of a sudden, the lyrics started, and I was like, "Whoo, this is my favorite Black Sabbath song." For them to change the lyrics is blasphemy, but they did such a. To this day, it's still the best Sabbath cover I've ever heard. So, they definitely won me over with that. And then I heard Rusty Cage and the rest of the album because I was like, well, if they did Sabbath good, they must be a pretty good band. I was
Hmm.
right.
And I did find it, by the way, but the case has exploded. So
Ah, that's okay.
I have two of these, by the way, if you need one. If you don't have it.
I don't have it. I'll gladly take one.
All
Sure.
right, then I
Thanks.
will give it to you, my friend.
I appreciate it, sir. Thank you. All right. So look, I'm gonna probably, people are gonna hear my list and probably say, "Oh, you picked the radio hits." I like the radio
There's
hits.
nothing wrong with the radio hits
The only one that
at
I'm
all.
sick of is probably Black Hole Sun because,
Right. Yeah.
I'm just tired of hearing it. Again, it's like one of those songs that's like ingrained in my DNA. So,
It's still a
you
good
know,
song.
It's
I
still a
not
great song.
I'm not denying that it's a great song, but it's not on my top 10.
It's fine.
All right. So number 10, I'm gonna go Burden in My Hands. When Down on the Upside came out, um, I liked it. I thought Super Unknown was I preferred Super Unknown
Yeah,
to Down on the Upside, but I still thought that, it had some good tracks, and Burden in My Hands was my favorite one on that. Um, track 9, now I'm gonna go Super Unknown. So I'm gonna pick My Wave. Um, I love the fact that what they were doing on radio isn't like what everybody else was doing. I really appreciated their stop time signatures.
Mm.
It's like, I thought Rush were like the king of stop time. Then I thought Tool was the king of stop time. But Soundgarden just made it sound so flawless, like it was second nature.
It was
So
natural, right? It was just
that's what I
natural.
mean by second nature. Yes.
All right.
Number 8. Now I'm gonna go old school. I'm gonna say Hands All Over because
All
that's
right.
just such a dirty, sexy song. Don't get us a copyright strike, Stan.
Oh.
Number 7, I gotta go Fell on Black Days. And that song had a different meaning for me when I actually played it live at a Decay and Decadence. Actually at the one that you were at, Stan, the one in Brooklyn.
Oh yeah. I remember
and
that.
it was great playing that, and it was great to play with musicians who actually knew what they were doing.
Mm.
Um,
Some of them anyway.
Mo- this is true, some more than others, but I'm not going to name names. Um, and number 6, I'm going to go with the opening track off Super Unknown, Let Me Drown, just because it's such a freaking rocking song.
Down, 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 down. I'm adding it to the list here. Okay.
Yeah. By the way, I must say, Matt Cameron is a very funky drummer. He's very good at what he does.
He is.
Yeah.
He doesn't play the drums. He makes the drums like it's almost like another guitar type thing,
He don't play drums. Drums play him.
Exactly. It's he does what he does. He's good, man.
The Soviet effect.
He's a Kirk Lazarus of drums. He's a dude playing a dude disguised as a drummer.
Yeah, he's awesome. All right, my introduction. I talked about this last week. When that video for I believe it was Outshined, right? Yeah, I was Outshined. It was on Headbangers Ball, and just hearing that intro, and I'm like, well, what is this? It sounds like a siren, and I'm like, all right, what is it? Where is this going? And then the song kicked in, and Chris Cornell's vocals, and I'm like, instant fan after hearing that, and then Rusty Cage, that video came on too, and I just had to get this album, and just been a fan ever since. Bad Motor Finger. I'll never forget getting it because I got it at Nobody Beats the Wiz. My grandfather took me there. We got in the car, and I put it in his cassette player, and I listened to it all the way back home. And he didn't care. He listened to it. I guess he liked it. I don't know. He didn't say nothing. But good times, good times.
Chris Cornell's like a caveman Robert Plant. I love him.
He really, really is. I hear a lot of Robert Plant in his vocals.
But in some ways, I think that he hit notes Robert Plant didn't.
Right.
Oh yeah,
and he kept his voice a lot longer too.
Which is funny because he was a smoker and a coffee drinker.
Yeah. I guess some people can just do it, and some people just can't.
Yep.
I don't know. Where did my list just go? Here it is. All right. I'm gonna just start off. I'm just going. I'm not. This is not in any kind of order. I'm just doing it as I had it here. This is going very old school. Mood for Trouble from Ultra Mega OK.
All right.
Very good song. And I'm not really too familiar with those older albums either, because even though I've had them, never really go back to them very often. I usually stick with Super Unknown or Bad Motorfinger. But
It was more focused, like the
yeah,
later stuff.
yep,
Like they were just kind of finding themselves in the beginning.
yeah,
It sounded like the earlier stuff sounded like a little more, had a little more punk attitude,
hmm
but the
yeah.
later
They were
stuff
still
was,
trying to figure out who they were,
yeah, the later
Well,
stuff, it just, the songs were more, well, better structured, and they were coming into their own. So
Yeah,
yeah,
I
I
think
don't
a,
listen to the older stuff either.
yeah,
I think a lot of it also pertains to the fact that when you're a younger unsigned band, you know, I don't think they were caring about getting signed to a label. I think they were just happy to be on Sub Pop at the time,
yeah, yeah.
and all of a sudden A&M came knocking on the door with, greenbacks.
Mhm.
So they had to make it more radio friendly to justify having a longevity for
Mhm.
a music career.
But that song came on a shuffle one day, and I'm like, oh, that's actually a good song. So that finally made my list. Burden in My Hand, you picked that one, Lou. Very
Hmm.
good song. That album, I mean, that's I don't know. I was like you said before, Super Unknown. I think is Bad Motorfinger is my favorite, and then Super Unknown,
Mine
and
too.
then um, Down on the Upside. I was a little disappointed because there's good songs, but just not as good as Super Unknown was. I'm like, I don't know how they. I couldn't. I guess the Super Unknown was just so good they just couldn't top it, and it just wrote more songs, and I don't know. I think they just kind of didn't know what to do, almost in a way.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with you. I think Super Unknown was our creative peak.
Yeah, and I was very disappointed in that. But
I like
like I
that
said,
album,
it's
Down on the
okay.
Upside.
It's okay. Maybe I need to listen to it more. But I just remember I was just so disappointed. There wasn't enough catchy songs like it was on Super Unknown. It was just kind of it just felt like every song just a mishmash of songs. It just kind of just went all over the place. Like let's do have a song that does this, let's have a song that does that. Just it was very weird.
Mm.
I think a
And then
big part of that also had to do with the fact that you had some post grunge or alternative bands that were coming out with their singer was directly ripping off Chris Cornell,
mm,
and I think it just got to a point where it was like, there goes another band ruined by talentless hacks that
mm,
followed in their wake.
probably my number three, Super Unknown from Super Unknown. Really great song.
Hmm.
I love how it starts with the guitar thing. Number four, 4th of July. We've talked about that song before. It's probably my second favorite Soundgarden song.
Mhm.
I just love that down-tuned guitar sound, and it's just so dark. And the drums on that, just the whole way that song is mixed and produced, it's just the perfect
It
Soundgarden
builds
song.
nicely.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Mm.
And my number five, Rusty Cage, the song that started it out. Oh no, second song started out for me with Soundgarden, but awesome, awesome song.
Nice.
I'm just
Stan,
curious how many
what?
guitars they brought on tour with them because of all their alternate tunings.
Right?
I
Yeah,
know.
I mean, I am curious about that. You usually see, when you see all the bands and they got all the guitars, so I could imagine they had a lot.
25,
Each?
maybe.
Did either of you ever get to see them live?
No.
No.
My wife did. I was so pissed because her friend, he had tickets to go see them at Sound Beach in Sound Beach,
Jones Beach?
Jones Beach, Sound Beach. Um, and he asked her to go, and I was like, God damn it, I like Soundgarden more than you. Why is he asking you? But she ended up going. She got me a shirt which had a hole in it, which pissed me off. But
Oh, she didn't get you one of the bootleg outside t-shirts, did she?
no, 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 it was a
I mean,
real
at that
shirt.
point, like Cornell's voice was already fried.
Yeah, it was I think it was when they reunited before
Mm.
the new album came out. So
He
his
was
his
just
voice
like,
was kind of shot.
for years, he was just kind of like singing like he was falling asleep, like, "Shall the fire, shall the fire." He was just like that the whole time. Like, bro, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, you just, is this like a cry for help? Apparently it was.
It
But
apparently
anyway,
was. But she said it was good. So I don't know. I've seen them live and I've seen him do a lot of shows, and I've heard his voice not be so great. I don't think he's that great of a live singer.
Yeah.
unfortunately. He's
Well, I
better on
mean,
Well,
studio albums.
the guy had issues, and
Yeah,
I'm sure that had an effect on his voice.
I'm sure.
But I mean, he was definitely like untouchable in those early
Definitely.
years.
yeah,
Definitely.
like if you see their bootlegs from like the Lollapalooza '92 tour, um, yeah, he was on point. I would have liked to have seen the '96 Lollapalooza, where it was Soundgarden, Metallica, and I think Rancid and the Ramones.
That's such a
Mm.
Like that,
random ass line.
it was, and the next year was probably more standardized. I mean, you had Tool and Corn as the headline acts.
Mm.
Yeah.
I think they were trying to rival Ozfest at the time.
Mm. I don't want to ignore the chat, Catman. The 5150 was out by 92. There was also some high
Ugh.
gains paveway. VTM, not enough talk about what gear guys were using.
That 5150 was the biggest piece of shit amp I've ever played in my life. There's a reason why it only sounded good when Eddie played it,
Yeah.
because he was using an Eventide harmonizer, and that made his sound great. Without the harmonizer, the amp wasn't worth a shit.
Wow. And Tommy Mayer, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, I actually dig the whole album King Animal. Yeah, it is a good album. I just, you know what it is? It's just by the time it came out, I'm like not sick of Soundgarden, but just I don't know. I just wasn't in the mood to hear it. I guess I just really never went back to it too much. It's a long album too. I think,
They're all kind of long, and
but that one seemed a little bit
they're
longer.
similar
I
run
should really
times.
give it another listen though. They were the heaviest of the grunge era. Yep.
Yeah,
4th of July. Cornell top three best vocals all time. I agree.
yeah,
Limo. He says Limo Wreck. He saw them in '94 in Rochester, New York. Awesome. That's
yeah.
peak time to see them.
You are
Artistry
lucky,
Music Hall,
sir.
probably.
Yeah. And Catman says Lou could appreciate what amps guys were using back then. I like Down on the Upside, but I love seeing them do Pretty Noose and Burden in My Hand on SNL. Yep.
But he was, to Catman's point, though, I know that they were using PVs, but I don't think they were using the 5150,
I don't know.
because I remember there was an advertisement in Guitar World magazine that had Kim, Chris, and Ben on around a PV combo amp, but I don't recall. I don't think it was the 5150. Whatever the PVs they were using sounded great, so it couldn't have been the 5150.
I don't know. Have to find out. And Tommy says Soundgarden sort of held things together for him in the '90s. Yeah, good. All right, Stan.
All right, last five, right? All
Last
right, so I'm
five.
gonna I'm gonna mention a few honorable mentions. I mean, this list is a bit unfair because again, Soundgarden wrote so many good songs, and I like them all for different reasons.
Yeah, we
But
definitely could have had a bigger list.
we needed a bigger list, maybe top 15, but whatever. All right, so
This is an
I'm
hour
gonna go
show.
with Slaves and Bulldozers,
Ah, good one.
That's a good
Beyond
one.
Beyond the Wheel,
Yeah.
Tighter and Tighter, and I like the Bones of Birds from the last album.
Okay. Yeah.
So, but anyway, the top five thing. Number five, Rusty Cage. I like especially like it near the end when it slows down. It
Mhm.
gets kind of heavier,
Mhm.
and that's cool. That's a cool like a little what do you call that? Is that called like a modulation or something?
There's no modulation. The song stays in B, but the
Okay, yeah. Well, I
but
wasn't
the
familiar.
times the time signature changes. So does the tempo.
Okay, so it's not like a double time kind of thing. I'm
Mm,
just looking for the
no,
correct term, because aren't they playing like the main riff, but they're kind of slowing it down, or it's like a
no,
variation of the main riff? No, okay. But
no.
anyway,
It's a complete deviation from the main riff.
sounds great. Anyway, it's been a while
It
since I
does.
heard it, so pardon me. Number four, Mailman.
Okay.
I really like this one. I like the whole. It's one of those like moody songs, but kind of like Fourth of July, Limo Wreck. But it's just very it builds emotionally. So it's one of those really good underrated tunes.
Yeah,
Number three, Blow Up the Outside World.
good one.
Go on.
It's a nice ballad. Number two, Outshine,
Hmm.
of course. And number one, Black Hole Sun. And
Lou's favorite.
this is the first Soundgarden song I've heard, and it was the first video I saw from them. Actually, one of the first music videos I ever seen. It freaked me out, and I remember just loving the song. So it
That smile.
triggers memories for me, like childhood memories for me. And I know it was like a pretty you know, I call it a step in a entirely different direction for them, as far as, in comparison to everything else they were doing. But a good song is a good song, and this is a great song. And it's one of my favorite Soundgarden songs, actually my favorite Soundgarden song. And very catchy. It's got this like it almost sounds like the Beatles and Sabbath
I could see
together.
that.
It's
Yeah,
a
like a
very
like
weird.
like
It's a,
Magical Mystery Tour era Beatles almost.
yeah,
Yeah,
It's very I Am the Walrus. Goo goo
yeah.
goo Joop.
yeah. It's just it's a strange. It's very like dreamy, but it's also very dark at the same time. It's like a strange song. It's almost like it kind of feels like when they always like play like a happy oldies song in a horror movie when somebody gets killed.
Mm.
It's like that kind of like feeling. I don't know. It's just strange. But
It's a weird
um,
song.
it's a
It
weird
is.
song, but it's a good song. And yep, Black Hole Sun's my number one.
Very cool. Very cool. And Catman says VTMs. Lou, he's talking about VTMs.
I've never tried the VTMs.
Yeah.
Is
I
that
know I
drugs?
didn't like no, it's a PV
No, it's
Okay.
brand. Um, Catman, I'll take your word for it. I just didn't have a good experience with the PV with the 5150. Definitely the EVH models are better than the PV ones, but I can't speak for the VTMs, but I'll love to take your word for it.
he says they had all the Marshall mods included. He thinks
Mm.
so. Tommy says Ty Cobb, LOL.
Oh yeah.
Fate Line says
I
Limo
had
Wreck.
to fuck you all.
Fate Line says Limo Wreck and Hello Fate Line. Tommy says Drawn Flies, good one. With My Good Eye Closed, that's another good one. I think that's on my list actually.
That's one of my honorable mentions.
Yeah. Fate Line says Limo Wreck. Oh, you already said that. Why'd you say it twice? Get out of here.
Because it's that good.
Catman, I would like to know what amps Mantis used for Cast in Stone. You know what, Catman? Tomorrow, your wish is going to come true tomorrow on Almost Human Live. We're talking about Venom. So ask this Venom question tomorrow because we're not talking about Venom. All
Is
right.
Tony Dio going to be on the show?
Tony Deal would be on the show,
He
and
will know.
no one will ever be able to get a word in edgewise.
Remember, Wayne, you said that I didn't this time.
I tell him all the time he's got to
I love,
calm down.
but that's Tony.
It's Tony. I love Tony. Tony's great. Who does it?
Yeah.
Who can't love Tony? Tony Dio, he's awesome. Fate Line says, "Can you tell me about Limo Wreck, please?" I don't know. What do you want to know about it?
It's a good
Well,
song.
when Wayne wrote the song for Soundgarden back in the day, he was
Yeah.
12 years old. And
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I don't know what to tell you about it. I have nothing to say about it. It's a good song. That's it. All right. Lou, what's your next five?
well, just to conclude what you said about Tony Dio, yeah, I do love the guy, but not when he usurps the interview with Jimmy Waldo from Alcatraz. I was like,
That's okay.
motherfucker, you're the guest. Manny, shut up, you too. Anyway,
That's all right. Last week I said one word.
was it hello?
I don't even know. We were doing Ramones, and I said the only thing I got to talk about is this poster I got, and that's about it. That was the last word I said.
Lovely. Anyway,
Couldn't get over it.
so honorable mentions before I mention my top five, of course, Searching with My Good Eye Closed. And I gotta give love to even their cover versions. I like I actually heard their cover of "Come Together" from the Beatles before I heard the Beatles
I
version.
didn't even know they did that.
Yeah, it's like slow and dirgy,
Hmm. Is
and
it on that box set?
it is.
Oh, I do have that. I'll have to pay attention.
And of course, I gotta, give credit to their cover version of "Into the Void" from Sabbath, the self lyrics. Um, Listen to it once, people. You'll like it. It's Sabbath. You won't not like it. All right. So number five, I'm gonna go Spoon Man. Um, love this song when it first came out. I'm still not sick of it, and I actually got to perform it at a D&D last year, and got to do the solo on it, and I just reached in and played the best Kim Thayil um, like solo that I could, and I did post the reel of it on the Severed Angel social media, and I think I tore it up, and people were just like, "Ah, that was great." So I love the song Spoon Man. Number four, I'm gonna go Outshined, just because it's such a heavy riff, you know, and I
Yeah.
can't pretend I'll know what the heck Chris Cornell is singing about, but I don't care because it just sounds good. Um, Rusty Cage, when I saw the video, and to me, I thought the video was as important as the song because the 90s were notorious for like some of the weirdest visuals ever. And I think every band was guilty of that, from Soundgarden to SCP to
Cool.
oh, there you
All
go.
that
Yeah.
all that shit was weird.
Claymation porn, as I call it.
Yeah.
um, but I thought the Rusty Cage video had some really crazy visuals and great edits in it. I thought the song worked well. And a big part of my formative years watching music videos once we got MTV. So stuck in my head.
Yeah.
Number two, I'm going to go for a deep cut. This was on an outtake from Bad Motorfinger and ended up on the single soundtrack. The song Birth Ritual.
Yeah.
Love that friggin' song.
Yeah, it's a good one.
And the only reason why that's the number one is because my number one is Jesus Christ Pose. And it's funny because like I really got into it around the time that I was discovering bands like Helmet and Orange 9mm and Unsane. Um, when a lot of bands were using noise as a part of their sound within their songs. And I thought that, I even got to say that the same thing about Sepultura with Chaos AD, you know, um, and I think what I liked about Jesus Christ Pose was that as noisy as it was and as in your face and in the red as the sound was,
Mm.
there was just something primal about it. And, to me, to me, Jesus Christ Pose is their stairway to heaven, because
Really?
I think you get the best of Soundgarden in that one song alone. You got Cornell's Whale, you got Kim's guitar playing, and you got a rhythm section that can knock down a New York City skyscraper.
Mm.
And it's funny because I remember when we spoke about Soundgarden, I think a week or two ago, and someone mentioned that they preferred Hero's bass playing to Ben's. Not knocking Hiro Yamamoto as a bassist at all, but I don't know. It's just something about the production on Bad Motorfinger, where it was Ben Shepherd and Matt Cameron playing together.
Mm.
I think, other than Mike Starr and Sean Kinney, probably the best rhythm section of the alternative era of hard rock music.
Yeah. Yeah, they locked in very well with each other.
Mm-hmm.
I think the other guy, what's his name?
Hero.
Hero. Whatever happened to him? He just disappeared.
I think he just quit music, and I don't know what he ended up doing, but um, I don't think he's like homeless and living in a ditch somewhere. I think he actually
Oh, I hope not.
succeeded doing something else.
That's
So
good.
I think he was
Like
just
that.
done with music.
Yeah, I don't think he He went more with the guitars, with what the guitars did, than with the drums type thing. So, I think Ben was the better choice. But no knock on Hero because he did do
Definitely
some good
not.
stuff. Did do some good stuff. Fate Line still wants details on Limo Wreck. I don't have any.
Go to Wikipedia. Do what
Wikipedia.
everyone else does.
I don't know. I don't have any inside details on that song. Tommy says he did an awesome War Pigs cover with Temple of the Dog. Never heard it.
They did it live. They did it live when they did their 2016 tour.
And Matt Cameron, underrated drummer. Yes, we talked about that earlier. Definitely underrated. All right. I had a bootleg a Soundgarden show, and it was a cover song on there, and I don't remember what it was, but I remember it being a good one. Wish I could remember. I don't know. Sorry.
By the way, Hero was actually getting inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame with Soundgarden.
Oh, really?
So it looks like his contributions were not unnoticed.
Interesting. That's cool. That's good. I thought they were assholes, though. According to
sorry.
According to Chris Cornell's wife.
Who's an asshole? Former members of Soundgarden?
Yeah.
There was some big dispute afterwards because I think Chris Cornell's wife was their manager.
Yeah, something like that.
And of course, it's always about money.
It's always about money. But they're jerks,
Why would you say that about the guys in Soundgarden?
I'm not saying that.
We don't even know who we don't even know them personally.
I'm just being an idiot. That's what she says. Because I don't know if you read all this stuff. She just has nothing good to say about them at all. So it's just funny to me.
Well, look, as much as I met Chris Cornell was important to that band, you can't.
You couldn't have
dilute.
Soundgarden without Chris Cornell. You couldn't have Soundgarden without Kim Thile, and you couldn't have Soundgarden without Matt Cameron.
Exactly. You can't dilute the contributions of the other band members because
No.
without each other, they'd have nothing.
And
this is like a Sharon and Ozzy thing again.
Yeah. And whatever Chris did, he did it on his own. It wasn't the band's fault, And she's blaming it on them, which is stupid. I mean, we don't know what happened behind the scenes of the band, but who knows?
Some things I think we're better off not having any
I'd rather not
transparency
know.
to.
Honestly, I'd rather not know. It ruins everything for you.
Yeah.
When you get too far into like the behind the scenes stuff, it just ruins everything.
The funny thing is when we're kids and we get into the whole idolization of rock stars or rock musicians, but then you see interviews with the rock musicians, they're not into the idolization of it at all. Most of them just want to be left alone.
Yeah, pretty much. All right. My top 10. Jesus Christ Pose. We mentioned that one already. Love that drum beat. It's just on a constant loop, and just how Matt Cameron just continues to do that over and over again and not fuck it up is just beyond me. Seeing him
That's
do that
hardcore
live.
conditioning.
Yeah. It's also muscle memory too.
This is true.
Yeah. Number 7, Room of 1,000 Years Wide.
Oh, yeah, I like that one too.
Great song.
It's a Kim Thale track.
Yeah. Hands All Over. I remember hearing that on MTV Headbangers Ball. I'm like, holy shit, there's another Soundgarden album. And so I had to get that one too. It was pretty cool. It's still not my favorite album, but there's some really good songs on there. Hunted Down. That's from the album Screaming Life. Really cool one. Another one I found on Shuffle. I'm just, because that's another album I really don't listen to that much. And that came up and I was like, all right, that's cool. And number 10, Outshined. First Pearl Jam song I ever heard in my life. And turned me on to Pearl Jam, Soundgarden. It's late, I'm tired. It's been a long day. Tommy said, I heard his wife was a witch. I heard that too.
A witch?
A witch. I don't know if a real witch. Is she a good witch or a bad witch? Or a sandwich? Felipe, number 1, Limerick. Number 2, New Damage. Number 3, Mailman. Number 4, Holy Water. Number 5, Burn in My Hand. Coolest. Catman credits sure is a bone of contention, man. I don't know. And Tommy says, good pick, Wayne. Yeah, thank you. All my picks were good. Everybody's picks were good. I don't think there was a bad pick on this whole night, even the honorable mentions. I didn't do any honorable mentions because I didn't want to.
Great.
That's your prerogative, sir. It's your show.
My prerogative.
They also did the song for the Avengers, Live to Rise or something. And
Oh, I forgot about that. Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes.
did you like that one?
I don't remember it.
Okay, so
Um,
that's a no.
I
That's not
like
necessarily a no. I just don't remember.
I liked it. It was a good song, but it wasn't really memorable. Um, I'm not gonna lie. I remember more Nine Inch Nails is "We're in This Together" um, from the trailer more so than the Soundgarden one.
Mm,
And that Nine Inch Nails song was actually on their '99 album, The Fragile. But I associate that more with the Avengers and Live to Rise. Bad marketing on Marvel's end, unfortunately. But that soundtrack was weird. He had Five Finger Death Punch doing a cover of Faith No More's From Out of Nowhere. And
Oh,
and I and I look,
brother,
I understand I understand that there's a demographic out there that loves Five Finger Death Punch. I don't get it. I don't have to.
No.
But don't touch Faith No More unless you're the Birthday Massacre.
Yeah. Even Halloween tried to do it, and they shouldn't have. Even though they didn't do it
Wayne
too bad.
Halloween's was better.
Oh yeah, no, it wasn't terrible. It was just like out of left field. It was
Yeah.
weird.
Yeah, but Live to Rise, not a bad song, but just it's not memorable.
No, I don't remember it. I'll have to look
It
it up.
sounds more like an Audio Slave song.
Interesting. Tommy says can't stand that band. Yeah, a lot of people can't. I can't either.
Which band? Oh,
Five finger,
Five Finger Death
yeah,
Punch.
5 finger fist fuck.
Don't worry, I don't think we'll do any Five Finger albums on this show.
music for cops.
Sabaton, power metal for Five Finger Death Punch fans. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding, Wayne. I just said that to a Peace 10.
5 finger sheet punch. Okay.
I honestly have never heard a single Five Finger Death Punch song.
I heard their cover of Bad Company, the
Oh, they
song
did that?
from
Okay, I heard that one.
that wasn't too bad. It was done within the context of Rocket Raccoon, and it actually worked.
Yeah.
Mm.
Sorry, I'm a Guardians of the Galaxy fan. I can't help it.
Didn't like the first one. I never watched the second.
You didn't like the first Guardians film?
No, it's boring.
Oh, poo on you.
Yeah.
I hate all those movies.
I tried.
I hate them, most of them after Avengers Endgame. I
Never
don't think
got to
they're
watch
good.
that one yet. I own a lot of them, but I just haven't watched them yet. Just I gotta be in the mood, Gotta be in the
I
mood.
know, I'm surprised your son Paul didn't want to watch them.
He don't want to watch nothing.
I can't get Anna
He's
to
a
watch any
he's a pain
superheroes.
in my ass, man. I try. Let's watch Star Wars. No, I don't want to watch Star Wars. Let's watch what's the other
Mandalorian,
no. There's something else I wanted to watch.
Star Trek.
No, I haven't. I never watched that. I don't know. I don't know. But I always try to get him to watch something, and he's like, "No, I don't want to watch this. I don't want to watch that." He just likes to play video games.
Yeah, I tried to get my daughter to watch Mandalorian. She wasn't interested. And the only superhero show she likes is Miraculous, Ladybug and Cat Noir, some
No idea
computer
what that is.
animated show out of France.
No idea. But Roblox, that's it. That's what the kids like nowadays. And
Oh my God, Anna loves Roblox. It's insane.
it's so stupid. It's so dumb.
All right.
Late Night with the Devil was the last good movie. It was a pretty cool movie. I like that one. It was enjoyable. I want to see the movie Bring Her Back, I think it's called. It's out in a movie theater. I heard it's very disturbing. And King Fally said it's like one a really good movie as well. He don't really rate like newer movies pretty high, and he rated that one pretty high. So it must be pretty
I'm
good.
look I'm looking forward to the new
And Final Destination, it's 6, 7. I don't know what it's up to now.
I think it's 6. But I'm looking forward to Toxic Avenger getting released August 29th
Oh, all right, finally.
with Peter Dinklage as the Toxic Avenger.
No, I still don't get that.
It's funny. A little dwarf killing people with a mop.
Maybe like Stan being the Toxic Avenger, it just doesn't make sense.
Stan would be a more believable Toxic Avenger. I could see him in the
I
2-2.
could too. I could see him in it. We don't even have to give him makeup or anything. Just go right the way he is.
Oh, that's messed up, dude.
All right. All right. We'll paint them green. All right. Fine.
We'll purposely move his eye down by half an inch.
No, his eye really already looks like that.
Oh,
Okay.
shit.
I joke, I joke. But that's what we do here on Rat Cell Review. If it's your first time here, hit subscribe because we need the subscribers. And
And if you're offended, keep watching.
yeah, because we're just going to get worse and worse. But join us next week. I'm not sure what we're going to do. I'm trying to get Stay and Listen to Ministry, and we'll do that if we will. If not, I don't know. And go to severedangel.com and buy the new, well, actually, you can't get it from there. If you go to rocksrecords.com, you can get the
Or
new Severed
Amazon.
Angel album or Amazon. But go to Rocks Records. This way they know that you're buying the album. Rocksrecords.com, Severed Angel, When Eternity Ends. Really good
And
album.
I'm
You know, a lot
repping
of
the
really good things
merch.
about it. We got
And
another really good review today. I saw in some magazine. I don't know where, but it was good.
and thank you to everyone who's voting us for the Global Citizens Festival.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell that means, but we're in the second running and we're continuing. So check us out on Facebook and the link is there and go hit the vote button.
Yeah, I didn't even know we got past the first running.
I don't either. I don't think a lot of people are in it. I think it's just a scam. But hey, let's see what happens, huh?
Why not?
Why not? Get us all the way there. Until then, chee wee wees.
Chewy.
He said it.